Well, good afternoon, good evening, good night, good morning, whenever it is you tune in. Hope everything's going well for you. I got a couple of announcements to make. So, as you saw with the thumbnail, I'm going to be going over the question as to why I even made the channel that you're watching this from. Where do I plan to go with it? And what part that you guys can play as viewers. Obviously, there's going to be some other questions to answer. There's going to be some of the questions to ask along the way, right? So if you have any questions, the bottom ticker says, hey, feel free to ask me anything at any time. Okay? Because this is not just a professor kind of like review of anything. No. Like let's talk. Because while I've been gone for like, what does it feel like? Yeah, almost 2 weeks ago. And in between that time, I was working on some other things that ultimately got canceled. I was dealing with some other things like at work and, just like at regular life. My connection issues on my computer was like terrible for whatever reason. So it almost made me not have to, kind of go through this, but instead like had to fix that problem instead. So I was, trying to help other people's channels out, So I didn't leave it in the description, but Dirty Bird Confessional. You look that up because that's Rip Cliff's new channel. In case you weren't aware, because he's been putting in so much work when it comes to just like strictly film breakdowns. And I think that it is necessary for you guys to check that out because he goes into so much detail that I would like, I'm shocked. So if it's going to shock me, I'm sure that you guys are going to get a kick out of it as well. So, all right, let's see. Who am I talking to? Nathan Floyd, how's it going? Michael, how's it going? And like I said, if you have any questions about me, feel free to ask them. If you were wondering about anything. So, as as that happens, I have some other questions to ask myself. First one is, what have I done so far with this channel? So I have my phone here, and I'm just going to be going through the last like 26 or so videos that I've made, videos and streams rather. So the first four, going in chronological order from the oldest to the newest. I go from 4 NFL Street 2 videos, and then that kind of fell apart because I wasn't, super consistent when it comes to that. But I was also very directionless. This is only 4 months ago that I hit, like, technically. So it's crazy to think about the progress that I've made so far. Then was like 2 NFL head coach series videos, and I've been working on the latest episode for probably around close to 2 months now. It has been an obscenely long video to edit, and I had to condense a bunch of stuff out of there. So you will get to see it though, and there's going to be some other things that I'm waiting on as well for that. Then we had another stream, and then 2 more head coach videos, then another stream, then 1 more head coaching video. Then I did a top 100 fantasy players series that no one really saw. But I'm actually I'm surprised look how accurate I have been when it comes to certain players, like being ranked or, being left off the list so far. Then I did a one-off video that won't be a one-off video, but it's just like, hey, what if I make NFL Street? What if I make the NFL Street Challenge like even harder by only upgrading one person? you'll get to see more of that because that was like a whole like 10-hour long session that I did while I had COVID, and I want to make the most out of that. So that is on the way. Then I did some what if videos. Some of you guys got a good kick out of that. And then I put, you know, the Unholy Alliance in NFL Street, and then did the challenge again. So that's gonna be fun to see. You're gonna see more iterations as I go and use the other channels or the other games with the other, with more members of our roster. And some more what ifs. Then I did some more preseason conversations. Another what if, another Unholy Alliance video. Then I did another game show. Then we got to see the results of that. Then I did another rant after week 1. Then we did another matchup conversation about the Rams, and now we're here. So okay. So I mean, we can go back to talking about the Falcons. So thoughts on my O-line and the D-line this year? The offensive line trenches has been fantastic, and I think I'm going to credit a good chunk of that to Arthur Smith changing the offense. Although some can, give credit to Marcus Mariota, extending the play and all sorts of things. But if you're going to credit to the run blocking, that's first of all just them, but it's also, the scheme that we've been using so far. So I love the improvement that we've seen on that side of the ball. And then on the defensive line, the trenches there, they have been sneaky good as well. All right. Like they're not going to get a whole bunch of stats to go their way to make them look like they've been doing really well. But you can see like with glimpses, and especially like if you want to go even further with that, like I said, go check out Ribcliff's new channel, Dirty Bird Confessional. You're going to get a whole deep dive into basically everything you want to know. So, but appreciate the question. So yeah, those 25, 26 videos that I've made so far, that's what I've done. And there's been some of the things that I can't, like, I wanted to do a hype video about the season, like before week 1 even started. So I was working on that for a month. And then I got too much of a perfectionist brain in order to like finish it on time. And then the week 1 result happened. I was like, I can't do this in good taste anymore. So I can still like take that footage and save it for later on in the season, like maybe at the end of it, maybe like a full season recap. But another thing that I've been doing, I've been brainstorming a couple of other ideas. Now, I don't know if I need to reach out to other people about this, but I definitely am. All right. But that's essentially what this whole stream is about. It's just like me overthinking my entire situation. If you would know me, then you know that this is natural to me. So yeah, I'm going to continue to hear that on and on again. So that is not news to me. It might be news to some of you guys, but no, that's all I do. All right. But anyways, the idea that I've been having was, okay, do you guys know, I'm pretty sure you guys have been familiar with the pitch meetings that Ryan George makes. Did it for a couple of years on Screen Rant. Then, earlier this year, I want to say they made their own channel out of it. I actually just got another update where it was like he did like over 300 episodes on that. So I've been paying attention to a lot of that. It's just been like on a rotation about my YouTube recommendations. And I was looking at his formula. And I'm thinking, why can't I do that for the Falcons? Now, I don't know if I want to do like every single game or just split it up into quarters of the season So it's like maybe after the Browns game, I will try to suit up and try to, get some writing done, make sure that I get my dialogue in, and then kind of work on the conversations of recapping all 4 games in one video. I can do that. I can do it just strictly anytime that we win the game. There's that option. Or, kind of go like halfway through the season, then the other half will be that. I don't know. But I have been thinking about that. Like I basically have everything already, I have the suit. I have what the other person would be wearing. I kind of have a good glimpse of like most of the conversations that I'd be using for that type of typical discussion. I have background images already. So you might see that pretty soon. I just need to figure out how long it'll actually take in order to record everything. So we got Trey here. We got Ripcliffe himself. So appreciate you guys tuning in. So that's what I've done so far. That's kind of what I'm working on now. I'm working on some other editing. I reached out to Lock In Sports, and he's going to be making some more background music for me. So I'm going to be using that for my next video that I'll be actually uploading soon. As soon as he's done, I know that he's got some issues of his own that he needs to take care of. So I'm just going to wait for that. Going into like, hey, what will I try to make in the future? Well, I talked about that video, but I had some other ideas as well. But I'll let this question. I'm gonna let you guys answer this question a little bit. Like at least like help me brainstorm with ideas, because there's been some other things that I've been having to sacrifice in order to give this channel more attention. So how am I going to make that worth it? So I'll give you some time to think about that. Because while you guys think about that, if I go back to like when I first appeared on Mad Mike Sports channel, that was, almost out of a full year ago, just a little bit over that. I didn't have a whole lot of stuff, I didn't have a whole lot of ideas. You ever good at film study type videos? I feel like I could, but why do that myself when I can help out someone else do that? So yeah, one more time. If you want that, then you should know that I'm already kind of investing my time for Ripcliffe's channel so that he can get all the credit for that, because he's probably got more time in order to do that than I do. But yeah, I've definitely thought about that. I've definitely thought about, making some review things, some reaction things. You best believe I'm going to be making some sort of review or something about that fantasy football movie. Like that is just okay. His channel name is Dirty Bird Confessional. Like I said, I didn't put it in the description, but you probably just put like in parentheses like DBC. That might look it up. So yeah, like what I was originally known for was doing like film breakdowns in a form of an article. I was doing that about a year ago. And I don't know why. I kind of preferred that one. I kind of preferred that method. Okay, you found it? Good. Because he just came out with his week 2 assessment. He's going to be working on his week 3. I think he said tonight or tomorrow night. So he's going to try to get that one out there. And like I said, like the first video was 3 hours long. The second video was an hour long. Like he's going to shorten it down as he like reiterates the things that he's already taught in the first video. So, and I'm working on him, you know, and kind of getting that noticed. So I've been making his thumbnails, as you can tell. Maybe you didn't, but anyways, Wallace, how's it going? Thanks for joining. I was thinking it because you overthink, and that's just your brain analyzing things from various angles. And that's what the other streams are for too. You know, if I had the capabilities of just like straight up sharing the NFL Plus kind of things like right now, oh, you best believe I'd be doing that all the time. But you can still kind of get my thoughts over there as I watch it and as I kind of give my take on a few things. By the way, he just like went in on Eric Harris. So it'll be interesting to check that out again. And yeah, and you put timestamps in so you can recognize everything, recognize where each play is. And the video quality is definitely improved. So he's got better microphone and everything. So it's going to really show. He's only starting, you know. Imagine how I was when I was doing this. So yeah, you go ahead and you enjoy the heck out of that because it's definitely worth it. So while I'm doing that, I was trying to help Alex with his channel, with his film reviews, but I don't know. He rejected it. So while I understand that a lot of you guys, well, basically everyone, like we have this one thing in common, right? Like that has been everyone else's common denominator. So this isn't the only thing that I know. So while I'm continuing to overthink everything, there's one thing that I can't overthink, and that's your guys' opinions. So I've talked into gaming, I've talked into sports, dabbled in that. I've dabbled in some other conversations about, you know, some shows and things like that, but I don't know like what kind of reception that got. So if you're interested in me talking about other topics in order to kind of have a refreshed state of mind when going into something, you best believe that I'm going to be, you know, working on that. But I just need to know like what level of reception I'm going to get, you know, like, am I going to be working on a video for like 2 or 3 weeks only for it to get like 4 views because no one else really cares about it? Because it's a different topic that we're not really accustomed to, you know, like I can be super serious, but at the same time, like the reason as to why I made this channel was strictly a passion project, you know, and getting 70 plus subscribers right away, that's something I really couldn't have imagined. You know, I'm close to getting 100 subs. I have other people trying to support me to getting even more than that. If I get the community tab, which happens at 500 subscribers, you best believe I'm going to be using the crap out of that, but don't have access to it yet. So in the meantime, there's are the things like this conversation that I have to have now that forces, it forces me to talk to you live. So if you have another topic, what would that be? Or would you just want me to strictly be what I've been? And then perhaps then, kind of split this up into 2 channels and just make another channel just like about other like video essays and reviews and reactions, recaps, something like that. Because like whether or not you guys want to see it, like it's just going to be dependent on what platform it gets like released, like, or what channel it gets sent out to. So do I have to make another channel in order to do that, or can I upload it here and let you guys see it as well? Don't know how this safety conversation happened in the chat, but that's the question, folks. Do you want me to go into other topics on this channel, or should I have to make another channel? Uploads here, but what though? Because I have ideas, but I want to know like if we have anything else in common, that certainly is a suggestion. It's the only one I've gotten so far. Leave it to a person named Noah to talk about boats, right? Among other things, but okay. Why do you guys want film studies? That has his own channel. You see the movie? What movie? Or is that the name of a movie? So now you got me curious. Unless if you're talking about the fantasy football movie, then that doesn't come out until like November 25th or whatever that they said. You would say game recap, but that's what our lives are for. Yeah, like I've already kind of touched on that. From another overthinker, find something that you're interested in and make a show and see where it goes. I know you through Mad Mike Sports, so I automatically associate you with sports. And that's fine. That's why we're having this conversation. But when I'm not talking about sports, I'm talking about other things too, I have a whole other, realm of other knowledge when it comes to stuff. So, I would love that for you to be the case. I would absolutely love like the simplicity of that statement, right? But if I do me and it gets 3 views, meanwhile I'm spending like hundreds of dollars of resources into it because that's kind of what I've been doing. Just doesn't seem as worth it. Like it doesn't seem as fulfilling to me. So while I'm not trying to steer the conversation into a certain way, I just want everything to be open-ended. You know, I just want to be like, hey, if you have something else, you know, like if you guys want to know what that's for, why I have that right next to my wall, right next to everything else, I can make a whole video about that and the significance that is to me. Just getting to know your surroundings. You know, I've gotten some wild stories that I wouldn't mind sharing into a video. So let's see here. It has to be something that you're interested in and passionate about. If you do you and it only gets 3 views, try again. That is true. But there's a reason as to why I would only get 3 views. It's because I'm trying to push it out to the wrong audience. If this channel is only known for being a sports and a gaming channel, and then all of a sudden I throw out another type of video into it, the algorithm isn't going to know what to do with that video. So because of that, it's not going to get recognition, even among the subscribers that I have. It's just not going to be shown. I'm definitely not doing that. Yeah, that's definitely off the table. Because if it's just sports, then like you guys already have that covered with the other channels, you know? So that's kind of the conundrum that I find myself in at the moment. So as we kind of continue to think about this question about like, should I go into other topics? Here's another question that you guys can consider. All right, since I have some of you here, what about this channel did you subscribe for? Was it the content? Was it me? Was it the schedule? Was it, you know, my ideas or something? Like what about this channel did you subscribe for? Because then I can get another glimpse of what I can add to another type of video, you know? If you like the jokes that I can make, if you like the analysis that I can give that to another type of video. I can put my work effort and my passion, you know, so yeah, like that sarcasm, like that is just going to be a part of everything, you know, because that's just me off the top of my head, you know. Like none of this is like, other than the questions that I had to put on the banner, like none of this is scripted. So whenever I have the opportunity in order to do that, like all that is just off the top of my head. So you're gonna get that no matter what kind of video I make. You know, balance content, yeah, absolutely. Like that's never really gonna go away because that's like the biggest part of me. But it's not the only part of me, and that's what I really want to make clear. Because I think that for other people, if they want to go into other realms, I definitely want them to have that opportunity. Like I've definitely seen some more channels, you know, that have gotten really popular, but they've never really talked about the same topic more than once. So I'm trying to get to that level where it's like, it doesn't matter what video I will make. I just know that it's going to be liked. But in order to do that, I gotta have a starting ground with something else. So what would that be? Because I could be found in other, in every other chat group. I'm in Discord, or in the Discord, where again that is a lot of my time devoted to talking about sports. But I also know that got some other things that I want to get off my chest. So everyone else, what did you guys subscribe for? Don't mind me, just trying to get to. Okay, going back to this music thing. I feel like he's. Hang on. Let's see. You guys hear what's playing? It's weird, but because if you guys can hear it but I don't, that's kind of weird. You guys can hear it? How come I can't? That's okay. Something's not right here. Anyways, you guys had your thinking time. That's weird. Okay. When I subscribed, it was the off-season content. Well, that's over. So okay then. Going back to that then. Was it the questions? Like, was it the premise? Was it just like extra stuff? Okay. I mean, understandably so, but it's like if I stopped making that, or like if my next video wasn't about the Falcons, how would you guys react to that? Because once again, like it's not going to stop me from making it or from not making it. It's just going to matter. It's just going to be a matter of like where do I put it? So appreciate you guys' answers on this though. All right, like the free agent chat, the draft chat, and the player intro and the guys in the draft. Yeah, like I'm when it gets to that point, we're gonna be going back to that. I still got some other names that I've been paying attention to in college too. And Rip is going to be doing that. I'm pretty sure I can get Vlad to join us as well. Reaction shorts. Yeah. Shorts is definitely what YouTube's been pushing out. Like they don't know what to do with like a long stream. They don't know what to do with the long stream. They don't know what to do with the long video, unless it's by like another popular content creator. Okay, so with that, there's really only so much that I can do. All right. Believe me, like I want some flair to that as well. But I'm probably just gonna have to, change the other like platform that I'm using. So just like now in the season, I like your info on the games, the banter with the fans, and media articles. Yeah, the media articles is going to be something else that I'm going to be focusing on. So we're on the same page there. Football React shorts, like given Ramsey took the interception for the game. Yeah, I will still talk about like those kind of moments, and that will be in the pitch meeting idea. So, like I said, like once the Browns game is done, then I'm gonna find time in my schedule to record some takes for it. Like I would have wanted to do this like as a premiere and then kind of gave you guys a little snippet of what I've worked on so far, but I haven't really worked on anything. So yeah, that will be on the way. Yep. So yeah, appreciate the feedback though. Like I said, the Falcons content, it's never going to go away. But I just need to know like how do I present it again? Because we could be doing streams, but when we're having to do the like scheduling for like what seems to be 3 different time zones, it can get a little bit inconsistent when it comes to the availability of everyone. And my only other concern when it comes to that, right, is I've already, in my own sense, reacted to it. So, sure, I can react to it. And kind of had some extra lines, I guess, but it's like I know how the play ends. I know how the situation is. I know like what the rest of it is for. So I can twist that into just like a reaction, or I can show that in a different sense. This time I'm not overthinking it, all right? I know my limits and I know when I am and I know when I'm not. This is one of those moments where I'm not. Because like you will go around to other reactions, like other reaction channels, and they will not react to something that they've already seen. So it's kind of the rule. Like they want to be as genuine as possible. So if you show them something that they've already seen, it's not going to be like what you want. Kind of same with me. Like I can take all sorts of takes in order to make it be like the right thing, but at the end of the day, I'm going to get tired of the video. Like I'm going to get tired of like what I'm seeing. So that, and I need another camera. Like I'm gonna need something else because I don't know if you guys can take a look at this, but the camera on my thing, I don't know what happened to it, but it like broke. So yeah, it's not as good as I want it to be. I'm not trying to turn into Mad Mike, okay? Like but nah, I get what you're saying. Maybe that's gonna be something else I can look into as well. So, last question, and then we can all head out of here. Why is this video considered a what if? Well, now we finally get Jarvis to show up. Yeah, why do I consider this video a what if scenario? That's because if I wasn't making this video, if I wasn't making any sort of videos, if I had just either stayed on to like Atlanta Falcons Nation and just like strictly made my uploads on there, which I still can do, you know, like you guys have seen that before. No, you're good, Jarvis. Okay, it would depend on what you wanted to talk about: movies, music, mental health, literally any of those. Right. So this is what I'm saying. Like I want you guys to give me your suggestions so that way it comes from you and it doesn't necessarily come from me. Right. So with movies, I got some takes on movies. Music, I have a bunch of takes on music. You know, like if I wanted to make a second channel, that would be what that would be like. Music is what that would be about. Mental health, yes, I've had some conversations with some other people in power in order to get some research on some other things, right? So my cousin, for example, has spina bifida, and if you don't know what that is, like he's spent his whole entire life in a wheelchair, has had some dozens and dozens and dozens of surgeries done to him, and you know, is with a family of 5. So now he's like in his 30s. He's like probably 30 exactly. And he has spent like last couple of years as a motivational speaker for other like kids and adults with spina bifida. And what has led to that is the discovery of how parents don't really know how to treat the child when they have a disability. So we've been seeing a lot of examples of that, right? So I've been actually in contact with him, you know, when he was a part of the SBA with the Spina Bifida Association, where they're gonna go out and have conversations with other doctors across the country, you know, and it's like, hey, here's our data that we've been able to find. Here's our, you know, our sort of tests that we've been able to make with our group. So, yeah, like I've had some really interesting conversations about like what mental health is. You know, I have my own stories to tell as well. I'm sure you guys can, you know, if you guys want to, feel free to send your takes. But yeah, I've already kind of delved deep into that realm, but I've never been able to talk about it because it's just like it's never been something that come up, you know. But yeah, movies, absolutely. I definitely want to do that. Music, I definitely want to do that. Mental health, sure. And again, and it doesn't really seem like one of those things where like for those type of videos, like mental health especially, like I don't care how many views that gets, because I want to make sure that it just gets made for, for anyone to come across it. Like if that video gets like 3 views, I want to make sure that those 3 people get affected by it in a positive way. So Deadpool 3, I did it was like one of them. I'm pretty sure that was like number 1 on trending yesterday, about the Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman video. So yeah, definitely saw that, and the implications of like them returning to the MCU officially. But yeah, that a lot of good things to there. Yeah, it's hard to figure out how to parent a child with disabilities. My oldest son is autistic, completely nonverbal until age 4. Yeah, we've seen that when it comes to those with spina bifida. Like it's not a. I don't know how common it is, but it is something where the parent realizes that their child has it, and for whatever reason, they just stop treating him as a child. And it's like really heartbreaking to see, because they won't teach their children anything. They will deny them of any other hobbies and activities. And they're going to be the ones that are getting forced into the world with no knowledge of how to help themselves or anyone else. And that is just the tip of the iceberg, really. So, a cult film breakdown. Decodes. All right. That'll definitely be a challenge. But back to me like not uploading or whatever. Like, what if I didn't do this? It's like, it's not a matter of like being underappreciated or I'm thinking about leaving. No. Like, as you can tell with my commitment in order to be in every single stream every single week, like, no, I'm not leaving. Nor do I feel underappreciated, because obviously, like, you guys are here, I'm here because this is important to me. What it was is just me wanting to branch out into other stuff, but I know that if I started out in one community trying to branch that in and mesh with another community, I know how difficult that can be for some viewers, or like the amount of viewers that is. So it's like, if I, have spent the last year being a Falcons content creator strictly, and then I start making like 4 or 5 videos about music, a couple videos about movies reviews and other sort of things. It's like, it keeps my options open and it keeps me fresh to everything, but it doesn't get the same amount of attention, because where I started from and where I spent the most of my community is like the only thing I know basically is our connection with the Falcons. So that is what I want to kind of like break down, is trying to find extra common denominators that we have with each other. And then once we do that, then it makes it all the more easier for me to develop ideas for other things. So no, like, yeah, I'm not going anywhere. Trust me. Because we didn't have any sort of like falling out or anything. But yeah. So it's been a great thing to keep in mind, Although that is another thing that's like, as much as I would want to talk about all that kind of stuff, I know that like social media, or like that mixed with any sort of religious talks, they do not go well. Right? Like that is one of like the forbidden topics to talk about because that can just like break everyone else apart so quickly. So it's just best not to get into that kind of stuff. But yeah, that is definitely been a key thing that's been on my mind. But yeah, why this was a what if scenario is because the amount of money that I spent, not just the amount of time, but the amount of money I spent in order to make this channel possible. Whew. Yeah. Yeah. I don't want to touch into that kind of stuff. So it's just not good. But yeah, I'm going to let you guys guess. How much money do you think I've spent on this channel alone? Any guesses? Yeah. So one says honestly not a clue. Another person says $4,000. Well, you are correct in the fact that it has costed me a number in the 4 digits. I wouldn't say $4,000, but I would say kind of close to 3,000 in totality. It might reach far. It might reach 4 or 5 eventually, but that's probably not going to be for further down the road. But yeah, like right now, from the day that I started, it's probably like $3,000 that I spent on this channel. And that's not all. How much money do you think I've earned? This should be an easier guess. I spent over $3,000 on here. How much do you think I've earned? So I see one guess. Anyone else want to try? If I've invested over $3,000 into this, what do you think I've gotten back? Yeah. So Trey was kind of close. Technically, I had Maggie borrow me like $50, but as you can tell by the way that I've been a member for like every other channel, like I'm now a member on Juice channel, I'm a member on K Styles channel, I'm a member on the Atlanta Falcons Nation channel, I'm a member on the Mad Mike Sports channel. I've already kind of given all that money back to them. So I've probably only had about like $10 left to give, and I'm probably going to give that to them like next month. So as you can tell, I'm not in it for the money. I would like to be. But yeah, I've given $3,000 invested into this channel, like because like this computer that I've been using, like this laptop I've been using, I wouldn't have ever thought to use it for anything other than this. You know, like at the start of this year, I didn't have a need for a laptop. But here we go, like $1,700 right here. Like, and then the other editing softwares and the other things that I've been using, the other donations that I've had to give outside of things, probably closer to $3,000. So what if I didn't make this video? Well, I would certainly have $3,000 to have to my own self. I probably would have been able to either salvage or straight up get another car. I probably would have stayed at the previous job though, and I don't know how much I would have enjoyed doing that. Either that or I would have like left sooner and then gone for another type of job, a different from what I have now. Not complaining, but because I actually really enjoy the job that I have now. You know, and I'm actually going to have a different schedule pretty soon. So I think like in the middle of October is what they said. I'm going to have Thursday, you know, which is why I'm here, but I'm also going to have Friday off as well. So that's giving me more time for a bunch of other stuff. So now I have like 3 days off in the future, you know, having Thursday, Friday, and then obviously Sunday. So yeah, I'm feeling pretty good about that situation. So yeah, I just want you guys to be aware that you can think of all the other good things that I would have had, but there's one like major thing that I would have lost. And that is basically my grasp with the community. If I never made a channel like this, or I wouldn't have been able to meet any of you guys. I wouldn't have been able to have the impact. You know, I probably wouldn't have been able to let other people have a chance of being on the other channels. You know, like if I don't make it, I don't. It's an interesting question to have. Like, if I don't do well, what do you guys think that Coach and Juan and Big Ant and you know Knight Rider and Locke and Black Bear, like, what do you think that they would do? If I just like straight up either like didn't show up or if I sucked, like, you know, you guys wouldn't have known Trey. I don't know how well you guys would have known, you know, Ripcliffe. I don't know how well you guys would have known Jarvis or Jay. So it's like I've made sure that I've given my due diligence and I've, you know, put out my effort to other platforms so that they can get their due acknowledgement. So overall, if I had to trade the scenario, I'd do this again. Like maybe spend less money, but yeah, feel proud of where I am, but I'm also like really looking forward to where I'm going to be going in the future. So again, appreciate you guys sticking around for me. I'm going to close this off. because that's basically everything I had off my chest. We reached the hour mark anyways. So, yeah, thanks for sticking around, and I'll catch you guys hopefully pretty soon. Bye.